Intelligences. BD0604 from October 5, 1938, taken from book number 13. Through the universe, incessantly spiritually impressed material intelligences buzz, which possess an immensely quick comprehension and perceive every spiritual current and use it for their own best interest. These intelligences are also endowed with a power which is expressed in the formation of new beings. It is like a secret mission, which grips all these entities, that they must be active in the new formation of beings, in order to establish so-called bonds between spiritual power and material embodiment. All these intelligences have one thing in common: they join every form without resistance, in order to penetrate it completely little by little and thus to form spiritually animated bodies, whose sense and purpose is to produce continuously out of themselves the tiniest living beings and thus to animate the universe with innumerable creatures. If now the people oppose this process with doubts, then also every further explanation will appear unacceptable to them, because in the end nothing in the universe is so simple in its origin that the human with his capacity could understand this, and nevertheless creation has so many inexplicable phenomena to show, that man as such is too small to form for himself a truthfully clear picture of it, and all effort would be in vain if the spirit in him did not unveil such miracles. What remains now to the human being but to believe, or to have to stretch out the arms? If he resists faith, then only one solution remains: to set the limits of earthly knowledge there, where seeing and hearing has an end. Only then he will also have no urge to prepare himself, i.e. his soul, for a higher goal. He remains with his thoughts on earth and fathoms only that what is comprehensible for him, but remains completely far away from a spiritual experience. And nevertheless man is carrier of innumerable intelligences and is occupied by them far more than is apparent. For even if man refuses to acknowledge spiritual power, even if he rejects with full consciousness a supernatural activity, he will not be able to prevent that also his own thoughts digress into infinity, because the very intelligences hidden in him drive him to it. Because the actual life in him or effects are those very intelligences. It is from this fact that so many people find satisfaction only when their thinking becomes spiritualized. What nothing in the earthly life brings about, to give man an inner peace, those beings can bring about to a great extent, as well as they can determine man to give his thoughts the direction upwards. The power of these intelligences sometimes goes so far that the surroundings of man are also permeated by them, especially when all resistance in man is broken and he willingly yields to the strong urge. Then there is eternally no decline to fear, because everything spiritual strives towards the Spirit of God. It finds the soul back to the eternal light, to the eternal divinity. Amen.